There is something truly terrifying about the undead. Zombie films are a continued fascination for all ages. Starting in 1968 with the groundbreaking Night of the Living Dead, George Romero and John Russo brilliantly took a simple concept and transformed it into an iconic piece of horror cinema. My vision for Spawn of the Living Dead will build on their quintessential work, paying homage while bringing the franchise into a contemporary cinematic world. For the first and opening scene, I would start out the film in black and white, keeping it as close to the original look and tone as possible, because this opening scene takes place in 1968 and is in the same location as the original film. When you meet our female cemetery zombie, she will slightly resemble Barbara from the original. This will give a nod to horror fans. The zombie makeup will resemble the 1968 film in style and application. For the next scene, the film will slowly move into color, bringing us into 1984, a time without smartphones or internet. Spawn of the Living Dead takes place 16 years after the events of Night of the Living Dead and the original zombie plague. We'll take advantage of this timeline to incorporate elements from the past to accurately represent those decades, but more importantly, to turn the world of the film into an alternate universe, which makes the audience uneasy and unsettled due to the acknowledged lurking threat of zombies. Over the years, there have been many versions of that lurking undead world told in cinema. I often lose interest in a film when the villain, hero, or monster is created totally of VFX. My vision is a combination of practical makeup effects, special effects alongside VFX, accentuating the grotesque realism of the zombies while leaving creative options open. For example, TV shows like The Walking Dead took inspiration from Night of the Living Dead's idea of a zombie plague and used realistic, mind-blowing makeup effects to take the zombies to a whole new level. We'll build on this by bringing on award-winning Canadian makeup effects designers, and with their individually unique creative styles, each zombie will have one-of-a-kind qualities, highlighting the mad scientist experimentation they've secretly undergone. Spawn of the Living Dead needs to have a new approach to an old concept. This film's cinematography and composition will take inspiration from award-winning films such as Blade Runner 2049 and Joker in both form and function. For example, Blade Runner 2049 stays true to the original Blade Runner, but utilizes contemporary technology to achieve new, more complex shots and sequences while still retaining the original's feel and brilliant lighting. Joker utilizes a vintage look and design in combination with modern camera moves and shot composition to create a unique contemporary film. Spawn of the Living Dead will do the same, paying tribute to the original Night of the Living Dead while taking advantage of top-of-the-line technology to create a classic feel with a new creative direction. British Columbia, Canada has some of the most incredible haunting forests in the world, making it the perfect location for this project. Specifically, the Fraser Valley region, where we will use the foggy nights and oppressive dense forest to create the foreboding environmental dread perfect for lurking zombies and other horrors. Horror doesn't have many female directors. Spawn of the Living Dead has many strong female characters, and having a female director is ideal for a fresh, unique perspective to the story. I am Métis and grew up in a heavily multicultural family, so having a diverse cast and crew is important to me. Spawn of the Living Dead will have an African-American, all-American, middle-class family at the forefront, highlighting elements of racial tension and unspoken terror to increase the narrative realism and stakes, not dissimilar to Jordan Peele's Get Out. Furthermore, The film will never directly address Stevie's gender identity. I want to keep the audience wondering where we are going. I like the idea of a non-binary character in the middle of all of this chaos, and not directly focusing on their gender as a narrative device. Of course, music is extremely important to filmmaking and is paramount in building the tone and the feel of a film. This film needs a combination of fun, dark, edgy, and new music to give this picture a unique feel. I want to have a diverse palette of cool, interesting underground bands, mainly from the record label Alternative Tentacles, to achieve the emotional contrast while giving the film an overall unique edge to its scoring and music. I have been a musician for over 30 years and have made many connections in this realm. I am also an artist on Alternative Tentacles and have toured with bands like Ministry and Thor. I would utilize these connections for this film. Jeff Sanders has PTSD, a condition rarely touched on in a zombie film, as audiences are often left wondering what happens years later after the attack. In Spawn of the Living Dead, Jeff wrestles with his demons 16 years after he was attacked and traumatized. I love this element in the film, as we explore his trauma and sympathize with him. Spawn of the Living Dead, written by John Russo, is a continuation of Night of the Living Dead, with an awesome, unique twist and relatable yet flawed characters. It has incredible potential to be a new classic. I know that by directing this horror film, I have big shoes to fill, but I hope that George Romero would be excited about my vision to the franchise. I know that John Russo loves my vision and is very excited to have me direct the project.